Persona 4 Revival is one of my most anticipated games. Even though Persona 5 Royal is my favorite in the series, Golden is not too far off, so I wanted to make this video to talk about what I hope they do with this remake and some of the worries that I have. However, before we get to that, we have received one trailer and a little bit of information, so here's what we know about the game so far. We got our first look at the game in June, but very little was actually shown. So the trailer starts off by showing the riverbank area, then it shows the shrine area, and then we see a scene of the main character, Yu, running down the shopping district. Although the trailer was only 50 seconds, we can determine a few things from some of the frames we got here. Although some of them are stills, we do get a little bit of gameplay. Like I mentioned with the main character running down the street, we can see that the graphics have massively improved. Even though it does look like early gameplay, if they can build on this and make it look even better, that's gonna be sick. Another thing that was made very apparent is the fact that the camera is no longer fixed. Just like in Persona 3 Reload, they changed it so it's more modern, and they are continuing this trend with Persona 4 Golden, which is great. By the end of the trailer, we didn't really get too much information. However, if I had to guess, we're probably gonna get a full trailer sometime in Q1 or Q2 2026. They did, however, though, make a website for it and drop some additional details on Steam. So if you go over to the website, you can actually see there's multiple screenshots from the game. And the first one here, it seems like it's the classroom that you're always spending time in. And just by a quick glance, you can already tell the lighting has improved so much. And this, like I said, this still is probably early in development, so chances are it might look even nicer by the time it actually comes out. The second screenshot shows a bunch of TVs with red and black designs on them. I think this is what shows up whenever you're in a dungeon and you're about to enter it. So this is probably inside there, but for now I'm unsure if this is something that's actually in the game or if they just made this as a promotional piece. So in the last screenshot, we actually get to see the shopping district in Inaba with the main character running through it. And a few things to notice here. Obviously the graphics look really nice, but the design seems to be pretty much one-to-one with what we got in the original game. We also get a look at the main protagonist here, and he looks great. We got an updated look on him. He still looks pretty much the same as he did in Persona 4 Golden, but we've just got a more modern look, which I'm pretty happy about. So the last bit of info we can get from this website is this summary of the game. Persona 4 Revival intertwines the journey of self-discovery and the exploration of youth through encounters with the occult and an investigation into a string of murders, all within a critically acclaimed classic RPG experience reborn in a new form. In the rural Japanese town of Inaba, the once sleepy streets receive a cold wake-up call when a mysterious serial killer strikes. Also, what's with the rumor of a mysterious TV channel appearing only on rainy nights? A whirlwind of surprises and otherworldly adventures will make the next year of your high school life anything but ordinary. The Steam page does offer a little bit more information, however, it's all mostly just down to things like hanging out with your friends, or you get to fight monsters, very generic things, so I'm not going to cover it here, but it just kind of describes what Persona 4 is. However, probably the most interesting piece of information is what we got from Wada, the P Studio director of Persona. So we get this quote here. "Hello, this is Wada from P Studio. We are very pleased to announce the release of Persona 4 Revival. We look forward to sharing even more information in due time. Persona 4 has spawned numerous spin-off works including TV anime, Persona 4 Arena, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and Persona 4 Dancing All Night. And this is a special title that has been a part of Atlus for many years and holds a personal place in my heart. We are currently working on this project with all our passion and love. We are confident this will be a fresh and surprising product for both newcomers and longtime fans, and we look forward to sharing it with you all. Additionally, we are also preparing for the future development of the Persona series as a studio. We are working hard to meet the expectations of fans around the world, and our work is progressing well. Please stay tuned for more updates. We look forward to your continued support of the Persona series." So a couple things that are key here is the fact that we are getting more information in due time, so that's great. So hopefully that will be soon, but like I said, I don't reckon we'll see anything in 2025. It'll probably be 2026, but hopefully they can prove me wrong with that one. With the way he's talking about these Persona 4 titles, it seems to me that they really do care about this franchise and this game in particular. So hopefully with this, we can trust that they will deliver on a good experience. However, most of that worry has kinda went away because Persona 3 Reload was amazing. We do also get an update on the future of the Persona series, however, I want to leave that for a separate video. The other bit of information here is the fact that he says it will be a fresh and surprising product for both newcomers and longtime fans. That makes me think that they are moving in the direction of Persona 3 Reload, which I'm very happy about because what I think that that game did so well is blend the old stuff that made Persona 3 Fez and the original so good, but give it that modern Persona 5 Royal stuff added onto it that just makes it so much better and easier to play. And it seems like what they are doing with this game is they are going in a similar direction, which makes perfect sense if you think about how successful Persona 3 Reload was. This game has a chance to be even more successful because I feel like Persona 4 is probably more popular than 3, but we'll have to see where that goes. So, what are my hopes for this game? Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, the graphics are looking great, so I'm not worried about that. Also, certain things like expecting new UI and a new opening, I feel like that's pretty standard to expect, so I feel like that's going to happen for sure. Another thing I think is going to happen for sure is we're going to get better gameplay. I want to see baton pass or shifting come back for sure, and any sort of other additional combat stuff that doesn't break the game or feel unnecessary to Persona 4 should still be added, because the gameplay, it's a little bit outdated, so I think they could make it a little bit more modern. I think it would be cool as well if we got like more outfits as well. I know there were outfits in Persona 4 Golden, but I never really used them, and even acquiring them, it wasn't something that I really went out of my way to do. So I'm hoping maybe in Persona 4 they could make that a little bit easier and just give us more variety of more interesting outfits. I remember there was stuff like winter outfits or school outfits, but I'm hoping that maybe they'll add some other outfits from like Persona 3 or 5 or hey, even 1 or 2, I don't mind. Just add more outfits into the game. I think another pretty easy bet is that we're going to be getting new music. I'm hoping that most of the music stays the same in the game, but they just add or change a few of the tracks. I want it to remain very similar, but I understand that with new people working on this game, there are going to be new stuff, so I am excited for whatever they come up with. I just hope that it fits the game and it doesn't feel out of place. That's all I'm really saying. I think also what would be really cool is if we could get a little bit more exploration. There's not really that much exploration in the original, or even Golden, because you're mostly fast traveling between the shopping district, the school, or the Dojima residence, so you don't really get to have that exploration. I feel like now that we're going in this modern sort of direction, we could have every single area connected where you can just walk to where you want to go. Or I thought of this idea, it would be cool, since we get a scooter later on in the game, if we could actually drive the scooter and get to places faster. I think that would be pretty cool. When it comes to my worries of this game, I don't have a whole lot actually, because most of that went away after playing Persona 3 Reload. I think what they did in that game was incredible, because they blended the original and the new perfectly, and I feel like Persona 4 Golden, it has a chance to replicate that as well. However, what I will say is, we are definitely going to be getting a new cast for the main characters, and I don't mind that, as long as they do a good job. In Persona 3 Reload, I think every single cast member did a great job, and I'm expecting the same in this game, so I hope they don't disappoint, because we are definitely fucking not getting the original cast back. Like, it's not happening. Like, these people are fucking too famous now, and they're definitely not coming back. They might do some side roles. In Persona 3 Reload, we did get some of the original voice actors do some side roles, but I'm not expecting any major people to come back. This isn't really a huge worry, however, I will say I do want every single thing to be voice acted in the game. Persona 3 Reload was, but I did play through Metaphor ReFantazio, and that game is the newest Atlas game, and it does not have that. So I'm not sure if some games get the treatment where they get fully voice acted cutscenes for every single thing in the game, but some don't. So we haven't gotten a confirmation on that yet, but I'm hoping that we do actually get everything voice acted. I guess my last worry for this game would be that I don't want there to be too many sort of changes to the story on the characters. I'm assuming there will be some new stuff that will get added. I just don't want the new stuff to sort of take away from the main game or really just be useless stuff that is unnecessary. If you're gonna add and change stuff, like, I just want it to fit the sort of world that they've built so far. If you're in the know, you probably know that some of the controversial stuff of Persona 4 Golden comes with its characters, especially Naoto and Kanji. So I'm really excited to see how they're gonna play with that, because there's a lot of sort of discourse around that sort of relationship between those characters, how they act, some of the stuff they do in the game. You know, there's Kanji's dungeon, you know, you get Naoto as well with her sort of identity and stuff. And I'm just wondering if they're gonna change that or keep it the same. It's gonna be interesting. Regardless of all that stuff, I'm still really fucking hyped for this game. I think it's gonna be sick. I don't know when it's gonna release. We haven't gotten any sort of information about that. If I had to guess, it would probably be towards the end of 2026 or the start of 2027, because we got Persona 3 Reload announcement. It was on the 11th of June 2023, and the game came out 4th of February 2024, so there was like an 8-month gap, I think, between announcement and release. I don't think that's going to happen with this game. It might be a little bit longer. However, I would love to get it as soon as possible. So we're just going to have to see what Atlas delivers on. Well, anyway, that does it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.